Behind every smile is a story of pain, strength, and resilience. The Blueprint Podcast is where those stories are told, where we heal, evolve, and reclaim what's ours. And whether you're a woman finding her voice or a man ready to listen and grow, this space is for you. Together, we rise back into her. Welcome back to another episode of the Blueprint Podcast. I'm Yanique and I'm your host, your sister, and dear friend. Well, today is a little bit different. We have someone very special to me, my very own grandma, and she's 85. Can you believe it? I have a grandma that's 85. Well, today she's going to be sharing her wisdom with us and telling her story. And I can't wait to get into it. So welcome, Grandma.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm right here. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, I am in Manchester, Jamaica, guys. Yes, all the way in Manchester. And I said, you know what? I can't be having a podcast that focuses on women and hearing their experiences and not hear from my grandma.
Oh, you're sure there.
All right, so grandma, we're gonna go all the way back because I want to know about your childhood.
Oh,
So I don't know how much you can remember, but tell me what your childhood was like.
well, I was born in 1940. I think a lot of people say today it was rough. But for me, it wasn't.
It wasn't rough.
No, it was my best days.
Really?
Yes. Somebody asked me the other day if I would prefer live how things were going in the past than now. I said yes, I would prefer living those days.
Really?
Yes. It was as often as you look at it now, you realize that, it was so different from now. All those days you could sleep with your door open. You don't have to close up doors for anybody, say anybody gonna come in or anything,
Oh.
And those days there was not any light on the pole them. You only have a little thing that we call kitchen. You have to put kerosene oil in there. It was a tin lamp, a tinning lamp. Not even the thing them the lamp. No, it was just some tinning lamp we had was to use.
Really?
Yes, with kerosene oil in there.
Okay.
And those were the same kind of things that we used to drink tea out of, like a condensed can them, and then put handle on them, and we used to use those, and next thing we used to use is calabash. Maybe you don't even know.
I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know what calabash
but
is.
it's something like a board.
Okay.
Yes, and then you have those know that everybody have your own.
Yeah.
Because you have different marking on it to know yours, and everybody know, this is mine and that is yours, And as I'm saying, I find it those days much better to me. But a lot of people say they would like to live in that past. They say it was rough. And I can remember whenever Christmas is coming up, whenever Christmas time is coming up, my mother used to buy they used to sell flour those days in some big bag.
Okay.
Made out of cloth material. And then she used to wash them. Like November come up, she used to wash them and sew them, make a mattress. And then we had was to cut the grass.
And stuff it.
And stuff it. So we had was to sun the grass. And then we had was to stuff it, and it will become very high. So you'd have to jump on it, jump on it for it to go down.
For your bed?
On the bed.
Ooh, guys.
And sometimes it was on floor too, but sometimes maybe it was on bed if you're lucky.
Yeah.
It was, I remember going to school and coming home. And when I come for lunch, my mother would give me 2 water crackers.
Yes.
And she'll just put a little sugar on it. Because it wasn't the sugar was enough
to
make lemonade. We just eat that.
Water crackers.
Water crackers too.
Sugar.
Yes. And after we come from school in the evening, maybe you think say a hot lunch is there for us.
Yeah.
It wasn't there. You had us to come home, go and look food, or go to the shop, or go and look water to come and cook something for dinner.
Wow.
And when whatever dinner you get, you have to leave something out there for in the morning to go to before you go to school. So my mother would get up early and make the wood fire.
Yes.
And then she would put those on it to heat up, toast them up.
Yes.
And everybody get theirs, and maybe you get a little tea. Sometimes you hardly have a little sugar to put in there.
You just drink the water.
You just drink it and you run to school and, things like that. But as far as I can remember, to me, it was better days than now.
Really?
Yes.
Even when you get a chance to compare, because right now I so traumatized, guys, from hearing she have to do all that just to make life. But to her, it was better days. So it goes to show that sometimes what we have and what we cherish, there was a better time. And she's telling us about that right now. So you had to stuff your own bed. When we can go to the store and buy a bed, right?
Yeah.
You had to make your own coal stove.
Yes.
Well, we can go to the store and just buy a stove and buy gas and make food. But to her, it was better days.
It was better days for me. Those days, I think it was nothing. I know for me, it was
better days. What was your mother like?
Oh, my mother was so sweet. My mother would get up and she used to go to the market.
Yeah.
And to make dinner for us sometimes. She go out there and all kind of things, like a papaya. She would get those things and put them in the pot, cook them.
Yeah.
And say soup. And sometimes it's only a little flour you have in there, 2 dumpling you have in there, and we eat that. We feel so good. Things were good.
Yeah.
I remember
knowing it better anyways,
No,
right?
that's what I am saying.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
So to you, life was good because you never have
That's what I
to see the rest of the world.
You didn't do anything. That's all that I know. That life that I grew up in. That life that I grew up in, that was all that I know.
Yes.
And, I appreciate it up to today.
Yes.
I appreciate it up to today. Things, you didn't have a lot of things, but you did not know better, sir.
Yeah,
somebody out there was eating chicken,
but you don't know that.
You don't know that.
Yes. Because no mommy's doing her best.
She was trying her best to try her best.
Yeah.
To help us. We used to go and look cassava. She used to get cassava and to make bami. And I remember sometime I was small, and I have to grate a lot of cassava. But I'm telling you, it was hard. And now what I did, when I get the big one, then I take them and throw them at the phone. It was hard to grate and it takes too long. Okay. Now my father, when he was going out, he would let me leave grass for us to weed.
Okay.
You have to weed from ear to ear. As his back turned, so I just pull off the head off some and throw it on the spot them. Yeah. So it went by the time get home, it quailed. Yeah. It gone, like it died off. Yeah. So it looked like I weed grass. But I don't know.
Guys, if my mother and father was here to hear this.
Yes. I'm telling you. It was, I remember one time.
Yeah.
My mother sent me to the shop. She was baking bami for dinner. If you know what is bami.
Bami, yes.
Yeah, but she was making bami for dinner. And she sent me to the shop and said, I'm to go and buy, I think it was 1/4 pound of salt mackerel.
Yes.
For around 9 of us, Yes. But at those times, 1/4 pound to me now is more than a pound now.
Yeah.
When you buy 1/4 pound of things in those days, it was when you send to buy a pound now.
They'll give you a whole year.
to me, that's how it look. I don't know the scale was different or whatever it was.
Yeah.
You know, but it was so different. And I remember she sent me to buy it, and there was this old lady house that I used to pass. And when I get home, I got a piece of head mackerel and that's the one my mother sent me to buy.
Yeah.
And I get a piece of head on it. And I decide that I want that head.
Yes.
And I start to eat it. Raw mackerel head, you know, start eating it from as I leave the shop.
Yeah.
So when I come to have a little piece left, and I said to my mother, tell her, says a lady named Miss Ursi asked me to buy it.
Yeah.
And she don't have any teeth, so she give me the head.
Yeah.
So
So you are.
it was mine. I was, you know, as children all over,
Yes.
I wasn't telling the truth.
Yes.
Okay. So when I get home, now the little piece I roast it. But my mother said, this mackerel look little, Merle. This mackerel look little. I'm not saying a word. So I was there, man. Every time I see my mother take the fan to go that side, I should come and start look on her.
Yes.
Because I figured that she was going to ask that lady. So, and every time I keep looking at her. And I remember one day I was there, me and my bigger brother playing marble.
Yeah.
And when I look, my mother come with the water and she put on the water and she went on to the back of the kitchen. There was a sweet up tree around here.
Yeah.
And she's going to get a switch from that now. And you see, by the time she come round back,
Yeah.
I was gone. So if my brother catch me and I get a beating for that thing,
Oh man.
I wouldn't do that thing. I wouldn't do that thing anymore.
So back in the days, you used to get beaten.
Yeah. A lot.
A lot of beaten.
A lot of beating. You know.
Did you know these days, when kids get beaten, they say it's abuse and trauma and all of these things. How did you feel about
No, I wish it was still going on now.
Yeah.
I wish it was still going on now. Because they did not beat us
Exactly.
to cut us or anything like that, you know. So I wish it was still going on.
Yeah.
Now, you know, because after getting beaten, I realized that thing I'm not gonna do it anymore.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it wasn't any abuse.
Okay.
You know, it was just to make us better.
Yes. Yes.
It
And
was-
did it work?
And it works.
Okay.
It works. You know, it works.
All right, King. You know what that means to your butt?
Yes, it works. You know, it wasn't nice, but
Yeah,
it works.
It wasn't nice.
Yes,
Yes.
it works. And it works.
You mentioned that it was 9 of y'all for the quarter pound of mackerel, right?
Yes.
So it was what? Daddy, mommy, and who else?
Daddy, mommy, and Nathaniel.
Who's
That's
not?
my brother.
Okay.
That was my first brother, but not my first sister.
Okay.
At that time, my two first sisters wasn't living with us. Okay? The two first sisters, they were living with us. So it was my first brother then.
Okay.
And then it was my sister. She is 92 now.
So she's still alive.
She's still alive.
Oh,
and
nice.
kicking well, doing better than I am.
Really?
Yes. And we have Jacob, that was my brother again. And Navlet.
Mm-hmm.
We have Thomas.
Okay.
We have Olive, Monica, Sherry. So it was
It was 8 of y'all as siblings.
8 and 2, 10.
10. So Agatha, that's our great grand. She had 10 children.
No, 13.
Woo!
She had 13 kids. 2 died.
We're going to talk about that piece, but 13 kids.
She
Okay.
had 13 kids.
All right.
13.
So 2 died early. Okay. All right. So where did you fall in the list? Were you the third?
No, I think I was around the 5th.
Okay.
Sister Phyllis. I think I was the 5th.
You were the 5th one.
Yes, so
Okay.
I was like the mother to the smaller ones. Them, you know, I was to take care
Of them.
Yes,
Okay.
because my mother and my father, they used to go to a far place to buy food for us, you know. They used to go use donkey.
Okay, donkey them
Yes,
days they
donkey.
do it.
Yeah, we did no car. I'm gonna tell you the first time I've been in a car. I was going to school
Yeah.
and my teacher give me a ride. And every time the car lifts,
Yes.
I'm pulling it back because I'm afraid that it's gonna fall over. So that was the first time we never seen plane, nor nothing in those early days. Yes. I can remember now, after that, now my mother started, she keep having children, and I can remember sometimes in the morning, children never used to born at those times. Night.
Oh.
I can tell you that.
Oh.
Night.
Okay.
I can remember now. This time, my mother called me in the house to go and have some water for her. She was in the bed.
Yeah.
So I think she wasn't feeling well, so I was wondering what is she doing in the bed now.
Yeah.
Anyway, she said to me, when I hear something around the corner behind her, the bed. It was a baby.
What? So the baby born.
So I said, sister, call her sister.
Okay.
Sister. And my father, we call him Paddy. Say, sister, will you get baby? She said, Merle, you sleep too sound. You sleep too sound. I should hear when the plane was passing last night. And is the plane dropped the baby for me?
Because I never used to.
Because you see your mother tummy big nor nothing. You don't know like these children now. You don't know what was going on.
Oh.
You know. So she said, is the plane dropped the baby for her? And every time now, we hear a plane after that now. We run outside.
I wait for one baby
and ask the plane to drop one baby. Asking the plane that you set your hand, you know.
Yeah.
And I asked the plane to drop a baby in there for you.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So, but no plane never drop any baby for us.
Yes.
But I'm telling you, you never get children born at.
And the babies used to born at home. They never used to go
Oh,
to
no, we never had any know about any hospital. At home, you used to have some midwife come there.
Okay.
Midwife come help. And then, you know, whenever they feel pain, they call them.
Yeah.
But most of the time, you gone to bed, so you don't know what is happening.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
So, yes.
So do you think that they're overcomplicating everything now because they make it seems like you have to be at a hospital now?
Listen to me. Things could be going the same way as how it used to go in those days.
Yeah.
Things could go the same way like how it used to go in those days. Because nothing you ever hear hardly ever hear a baby born and die.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You hardly ever hear any born and die or anything serious happen to them or the mother or anything.
Yeah.
You know? But let me tell you this now. When my mother had baby in those days, every hole in the house used to cock up. That means no ear nor nothing that's supposed to go in there. And if you go to sweep the house, you cannot sweep it outside because the door cannot sweep it outside because them girls come out till 9 mornings. They have to stay in there until 9 mornings before they come out with that baby.
Oh, wow, you guys.
You know, 9, she have to in there 9 days before
so the baby will not get sick.
And the mother will not get sick either.
Oh.
That's what they said in those days. That was the only difference.
Nowadays, as we have baby without a door.
Yes.
Because doctor need to see us back in 3 days.
Yes.
To follow up.
Well, and remember my mother, 9 of us she have, and none of us was born in a hospital.
Wow.
Not 9, 13.
13. Well, we're going to talk about the 9 because I do believe that you have 9.
Yes.
Hey.
I have 9.
You have 9. So my great-grandma have at 13 and my grandma had 9.
Yeah.
So we hear about birth control a lot these days, and most of the parents, me, myself, my sister, a lot of us are only having 1. What do you think contributed to you guys having so many kids back then?
Well, because I mean, in those days, we didn't have anything called birth control. We didn't know about those.
Okay.
You know, and I don't know, maybe if we'd had known about those things.
Yeah.
Because, you know, to take care of 9 children or 13 children, it wasn't easy. So maybe if you had known about that, maybe you would have taken birth control at that time. But nobody ever know anything about anything called birth control.
Okay, so everybody just had to do them.
Everybody just had to do them things. Just had to do them things. All me. Yes.
Next thing you know, baby,
Baby. As one out, so there is another one. So
talk about that. How difficult was it raising 9 kids?
it was, but things those days was a lot cheaper. You could manage, you could manage yourself in those days.
Yeah.
When you go to the store and you have a little money, could buy a lot of things.
Yeah.
It could go far away.
Yeah.
But now it is so different. So if I could live my life all over, maybe I would want one. Yes. That is sure too. Because they are very, very expensive to take care of now.
No, okay.
I can see that.
So you say if you were born now in this day, but you kind of understand why the women just want one or
Yes.
it's expensive.
It is very, very expensive.
Okay. Yeah.
It's very expensive.
Yeah, life is rough, man. And
yes, it is very. But in those days, let me tell you, you could you want you plant your own things those times.
Yeah.
You do like a farming.
Yeah.
You get your little things, you go to the market, you sell your little things.
Yeah.
You go there, you buy what you don't have and come in with.
Yeah.
And things like that. But now, it is rough. It is.
Did the father stick around back in the days?
Oh, yes, my father was around.
Yeah.
My father was.
Most fathers that time.
Yes, most fathers was around those years. Not like now.
Not like now.
No, not like now.
What do you think causing the men to stay away so long?
I don't know. I think it's the pressure of life get on to them now, because it is very rough. So I think it's the pressure of life now, trying to run from their responsibility now, because sometimes they don't have it,
Yeah.
And they can't go tell the mother, say, me not have it. So them have to try and find it somewhere. So before that, them said,
disown.
yes, I'm going to disown it. It's not mine,
Yeah.
And that's very rough on the poor mother too.
Yes.
Very rough. Very
because
rough.
When what I'm seeing, especially with women who are still having a lot of kids now, is they will have a child with a man and then the man gone about in business. And then they have another child, they find another boyfriend, end up have one for him gone, and then the cycle continues.
Yes. All right. Let me tell you now.
Yes.
You see that now, you have the first child.
Yeah.
When you look, you tell the father. It says not his and whatever. You out there, you see a next man, come and him sweet you up. I will take care of that baby and, I will help you and I will do this. And then that man come in and start do a little thing.
Yeah.
And as soon as baby come again, him gone.
Yeah.
So when instead of one, you have two.
Yeah.
So you're going to look healthy again for the next one. And then come the third.
Yeah.
And you left you with till you reach all 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. You reach all 10 and it was very, very, it is very, very
rough. It's rough.
Yes.
So there are, especially in America, there are a lot of men who are saying women with kids don't deserve the good things them in life. And a woman with kids are careless. A woman with kids make bad decisions and bad choices. What would you say about that?
No, I don't think, you at the time, you don't look at it as bad choice. You were just looking at it to get some help, But then it turned out in that way. But you wasn't looking for it in that way. You were just looking and saying, well, John gone.
Yeah.
And I met Tom. Tom is saying he's going to do this and he's going to do that.
Yeah.
By the time you go there, you're not using any birth control or nothing.
Yeah.
There comes another baby.
You already can't afford food, so afford birth control.
That's why. But I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's not careless. It's not careless. It's not
careless. It's just needing help.
Looking help. Looking some help.
Yeah.
Looking some help. because you made the deal, and what am I gonna give the children to?
Yeah.
That man come
And
and
it's said,
yeah, you're glad to hear that,
Yeah.
Gonna be very, very happy to hear that you're gonna get some help.
Yeah.
So
so them need to just be a little bit more lenient.
yes, yes. Don't bring us down. Don't bring us down. Don't bring us down. We don't deserve that. We deserve better. We deserve better. And don't look down on us. Don't look down on us and say, she's bad and she's this and she's that. No, she was just looking a little help for her children.
Yeah.
She was just looking a little help for her children.
Yeah.
And I know that that's what happened. Looking a little help for them.
Yeah. What age did you have your first child? What age did you have your first?
24.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you were a young man.
Yes, I was 24 when I had my first child.
Okay.
I was 24. And when I had my last one, I was 39 going 40.
39.
Going
Okay.
40. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
And I only have one at 38, guys.
Yeah.
I need another one before I turn 40. Okay,
Yes.
so
Yes.
all right. So you raise all of them and let me see. Yeah, so 9 kids, I think it's 4 boys, 4 girls.
4 and 4 at 8.
Oh, that's an 8. So 5 girls.
5 girls and
5 girls and 4 boys. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about after you left, because at some point in time, you were born and raised in Manchester.
Yes.
And at some point in time, you ended up in Kingston. Spanish Town, Kingston area.
Yes.
How was that? What made you transition to Kingston, and how was that transition for you?
When the transition that sent me to Kingston, God, must I say that? Transition that sent me there. I was trying to find greener pasture, for my children.
Yeah.
But because when I was having a hard time here with.
Okay.
And then it was my mother that keep my children them. She was the one who stayed with them.
Okay.
For me.
Okay.
So that was when I realized that I could do a lot better than what I was doing here.
Okay.
I realized I could do a lot better.
Yes.
And that was when it started. I started to just rising, just to start
someone else.
And then I could be able to help my children better.
Yeah.
And that's what I was looking for, greener grass for them.
Okay.
Understand me?
Okay.
I was looking for greener grass for them.
Okay.
So that's what pushed me to go.
Yeah.
Spread my wings.
Because at this point, you already have, 7?
7,
yes. And you're like, no, I need to figure this out.
Yes, I need to figure this out for myself.
Yeah.
I need to figure this out for myself.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
That's what happened.
Yes, that's what happened.
Okay. And then my grandma, she got married.
Yes, I got married.
She got married, guys, and she had 2 more boys.
2 more boys. 2
Yes.
more boys after that.
Yes.
2 more boys.
All right. And then that's how we all a lot of us end up in Spanish Town, because now grandma is there.
Yes.
She have a house there, and we
Yes.
all just migrate. My mother ended up in Spanish Town, and a few of the other siblings' mothers end up in Spanish Town.
Yes.
But then you also worked in the market.
Carnation Market.
That's it. That in itself is a whole story. So tell me about Carnation Market in your.
Well, in my days now, I was going to market. I used to buy and sell things from down here.
Okay.
I used to go to the market. Tomatoes, scallion, thyme, pepper, everything. I used to sell those things in there. And then it's when I went there, I find.
Oh, that's where you find your husband.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because he treated me good and treated me
He treated you good.
Respect and everything. Yes. So that was when I said, this thing can work.
Yeah.
This thing can work.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. He said, let us get married. And I said,
let's do it.
Let's do it. You know. So that was after I have the last child for him. I got married.
Always after
yes, I had the last child in January, and we get married in June.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
So at that time, I made a life for myself.
Yes, life.
You had just made a life for myself there already.
Yeah.
So, but
So what was it like working in the market?
it was great. I always love it.
Yeah.
Yes, I always love it.
You used to what? Cook? You ended up
Yes,
cooking at
after
one
that,
point?
yes, because
Okay.
he used to cook.
Oh, okay.
And then after that, no, we just join hands and heart together and we start do the cooking together.
Okay.
You know, we start do the cooking together. But after that, no, when I wasn't satisfied. I said, there is still more for me. And there is still more I can help my children.
Yes.
And then I tried to migrate. You know, I tried hard.
Yeah.
You know, to say, all right, I'm going to try
and going.
Yes, I'm going. Where I could help them much.
Yes.
You know.
So no, you said you use the word tried. That means that you tried multiple times and it never worked for you.
Yeah, I tried.
Oh.
Yeah. You know, you try and it never
worked.
Never work out. You know, it never worked out. Because the most thing that I wanted was I needed a house for my own home.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
I needed a home for myself.
Yes.
And I try hard. I work hard to get it.
Yes.
You know, I work very, very hard.
So talk to us a little bit about the decision that you made to when you because she finally ended up in America, guys. And that was the first time for me as a kid. I think I was about 8 that I got to see that there is opportunity for us to actually leave Jamaica and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I remember back in the days there was you could go to the airport and wave goodbye to the person when they're leaving. And so when grandma was leaving, we actually went to the airport with her and wait until she boarded the plane. And then when the plane leaving, we all said bye-bye. So from that moment on, I had it in my vision, my forefront, that there is another place that I can go. And then on top of that, when she left, she also was sending barrels. And so I was like, so this place have good stuff that we can actually get. And so my eyes have been on America for a very long time because of my grandmother. And so I know it wasn't easy, so I'm going to give her an opportunity for her to share what her experience was like finally leaving, and also not just leaving, but not being able to come back, especially on special occasion for her kids, for her grandkids. She was actually there, and for a long time. So talk to us about when you finally made the decision to leave and what was that like?
Well, guess what? My decision was when I left. I I got a visa for 5 days.
5 days.
5 days.
Okay.
And that 5 days turned into 13 and a half years. You know? Because I was open and said, look, there is opportunity here.
Yeah.
You can get something here.
Yeah.
You know, you can raise something out of this place.
Yeah.
So I've been through a lot.
Yes.
I've been through a lot. I'm telling you, I've been through a lot, but through it all, I never give up. I still decide, say, I'm gonna fight.
Yeah.
At times I cry. I cry. I remember when I went to America. I went there in November. And while I was going to my niece's house, because that's where
you stayed? Okay.
Yes. And when I look, all the trees look like everything was dead, firewood.
Oh, okay.
And I said to her, oh my God, look how much firewood is here. All the trees are dead.
Yeah.
She said to me, no, they are not dead. I said, yes, they are
Oh,
dead.
because they're reaching fall.
Yes. And I can remember I was in the house. Everybody gone to work now. Leave me.
You're cool.
Leave me in the house. And I was so cold. And when I look outside, the sun was hot. I said, yes, I'm going to go outside and warm stuff. You see, when I get out there, it was just shivering.
Yeah.
And I had to run back in the house. And I write to Queenie. I said, Queenie, let me tell you this. It's cold sun they have in America. Because the sun out here was cold. So I tell her it was cold sun.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and I've been there and tried to get work, which was hard because I didn't have any papers or so, but it was hard.
Yeah.
You know, but the first work that I got there, it was in a group home. I was taking care of 8 people all by myself.
Whoa.
And have to bathe them, do hair, clean house, wash clothes, do everything for them.
These were old people?
Old people, yes, in a group home. And I can remember the owner for that group home, she had a next group home. So she used to see at that the other group home and I run that one. And one time she said to me, our daughter was gonna graduate and she was to go and she don't have anybody to stay at the other house. And she wake me up around 4 o'clock and she have to get the rest of people ready.
Yeah.
Get them ready to take to her house.
Yeah.
Which means 8 and 8 is 16 because she had 8 at her, but it was 17 because we had one. He used to go to the center every day.
Yeah.
So it left me with 8 and 8, 16, left me with 15.
Yeah.
I take care of all those 15 people by myself. Cook, clean, do everything for them. You know. And it so happened that while I was there, help me out.
Yeah.
Yes.
So while you
Thank
were
God.
there, the group home 16 people.
Yes, by myself.
Yes.
And the lady said to me, Mer, I have to give you something extra.
Yes.
And I said, okay, thank you so much. And I never get 1 cent. I never get a cent. And I was there and, you know, had a hard time.
Yeah.
Because it was
And
wrong.
especially when you have to pay for the
You know how to pay for them. I'm telling you, I remember one time I was home for around over 2 weeks. Didn't go to work. Almost my wife. Because I don't have any money.
Yes.
And with the next lady come from Trinidad. And she could give her a little land, you know, a little drop of money then.
Yeah.
She pay her a little money. So she kind of pushed me aside for that time. So when she finally called me and I get back there, I said to her, I said, I'm going to ask you a question. Am I a full-time head worker or a part-time?
Yeah.
She looked at me, she said, Mer, are you paying my light bill? I said, no, that. You paying my mortgage? No. She said, well, do what you want to do.
Oh, wow.
That means I can go.
Yeah.
But I can't go. I don't have anything.
Yeah.
I suffer at that place 1 year and 10 months. I suffer at that place. You see, I remember one night around 12 o'clock, I was in bed. And when I listened the door open, it was she coming with grocery.
Yeah.
And I had to jump up quick, put on back my clothes and start mop floor. 12 o'clock, like I was still work.
Wow.
You know, like I was still work. I was treated like a slave. And I cry. But still, I never give up.
Yeah. So
I never give up.
a lot of people are actually going through that right now, especially if they don't have any papers. What would you say to them to hold on or to get their mind right?
I'm just gonna say, hold on. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. Just focus on what you're doing and do everything to the best of your ability. Because it was the doing things that I got job after that. That was so good to me.
Yeah.
You know, I got job. I didn't have to go to any agency. I didn't go
Yeah.
to any agency. And it's just my word of mouth.
Yeah.
That after I left that job,
Yeah.
I stayed at this place for over 5 years.
Yeah.
Worked with one lady. She died.
Mm.
And I see it. And I went to one next one. I stayed there over 6 years. He died.
That's so
And the
good.
last one was like 7.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all of them,
Yeah.
nobody never run me from a job.
Yeah.
I said, you can't stay. No,
Yeah.
no, I was always loved.
Yes.
Always love me, you know, and just want me to work. As soon as one job is gone, you hear somebody call,
Yeah.
you know, come. So if you are there and you're going through, just put God first in everything.
Yeah.
Talk to him. Just talk to him and just look at it and say, there is better days ahead, because from I come out of that thing and, you know, I could be able to stay there for 13 and a half years and come out and build my own home. And
Yeah.
anybody can do it. You can do it.
Yes.
But as if you ask me now, if you are here and you'd ask me the question, if you think it is right for you to go there the way I did, I will tell you no.
Talk to them.
Yes, I will tell you no, don't go there like the way I went there. I suffer, but I was there and I went through a lot of suffering.
Yeah.
You know, but as I said, if you are there already, hold on, fight, hold on. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, but don't pick up yourself now.
Yeah. And go there.
And go there now. It's not easy.
Especially with Mr. Trump, guys.
Oh, Lord.
Especially with Mr. Trump. You don't want to do that. No, it's not the time.
No, let me tell you, I can remember 13 and a half years, you know. And when I was coming, I from Montego Bay. And when I reach, I see trees, banana trees, road, houses in the plane, you know, for the plane lot. I cry. I used to cry so hard.
Yeah.
13 and a half years, even and my family are coming back for 13 and a half years. And then now when I reach to Kingston, oh my God, it was a big coaster bus full of people come for me. I was a celebrity that day. And let me feel so good, you know.
Because guys, I'm gonna tell you, we missed our grandmother, yeah?
Yeah.
We missed her so much. Remember, we're coming from living with her. She's the person that would come home and give us popcorn, cake, all sorts of goodies at evening time when she'll come home for the weekend. And so we always look forward to that. So not being able to go church with her, get those goodies or experience her at all, and not being able to see her, like she can't come visit, we can't go visit. It was hard. But by the grace of God, she was able to still support us, still pack our barrels, still send our money. That Christmas never go by where we not get something in our hand, either new clothes, some new food, or some money. And so as much as she went there and she suffered and she worked, she had one thing in mind, which she stated earlier, was to make a better life for her kids.
Yes.
And she never lose sight of that. So
Yes, thank you. That I can remember going to work.
yeah.
The fare at that time was $1.10 on the bus. And when I was going to work, I pushed that $1.10 in my pocket and I walked go to work. When I was coming back, I pushed back the other $1.10 and walk come home. I've never been to a store. What do you call it then?
The brand store.
Yes, I've never been to a brand store. It's the thrift store then. I go and buy my little things them.
Yeah.
You know, it's there I go and buy my
Yeah.
little things them. And until today,
Let the money stretch.
yes, let the money stretch. You know, that's the only way I would have done it.
Yeah.
You know, and God help me that, you know.
You see, your sister them used to laugh at you and say,
Yes.
what they call you?
Pupina. Because through the clothes and wear already.
Yeah.
You say a pupina me have. Pupina me have. Me have a pupina.
Yes.
You know, because me not gonna take my money to buy no. I'm not gonna take my money to buy any brand something. And my family them here suffering and things like that.
Right.
Yes, I couldn't do that. So, but I bear it out for 13 and a half years. I'm telling you.
Yeah, she definitely kept her eye on her goal
Yes.
and fulfill it. And she
Yes.
was also able to build her own house while she was over there. So when she finally returned to Jamaica, she had somewhere she could lay her head that she could call her own. So, and it's a nice house. That's where we're actually sitting right now, guys.
Yes. And I was thinking that you know, a lot of times people see you and you fight, just struggle.
Yes.
It wasn't anything easy,
Talk about
It was a sacrifice, it was struggle.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I could have gone away and don't even remember that I had everybody here, But all my plan was to just come back to my family then.
Yeah.
That was my goal.
Yes.
But I didn't want to come back to them and don't have anything to share or to come and look at them for them to take care of me.
Yeah.
And after I built the house, and I said, I cannot manage to work anymore.
Yeah.
And I said, I built
Tired.
my house. I was so tired.
Yeah.
I worked for this lady for over 5 years. And when she write up she write up the paper, how long I was with them and who I am.
Mm-hmm.
When she said, I worked with her for 5 years and I never missed one day from work. You see, all right, 96 blizzard.
Mm-hmm.
96 blizzard. I was out there
in the snow.
In the snow. I put on some big the big bag them.
Yeah.
The big trash bag them. And I tie them up here. And I put on the shoes and I went up. No bus not running. And I remember when I reached on the main and Rhode Island Avenue, I saw this van come and it stopped. And the man, it was a man and a woman, the other one was pregnant. And she said, where you going now? What you doing out here? You don't see nobody's that on this than you. I said to her, I said, I'm taking care of an elderly lady.
Yeah.
And I said, she need me. She need me. And I'm trying to reach. Say, how you going to reach here? And she said, okay, come in. And they take me to Rhode Island.
Wow.
Train station.
Yeah.
When we're driving the station now.
Yeah.
And was coming out back. We heard it, woo, it was the like a siren,
Yeah.
And him said, where this police them going now? When we look, it was help me now.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't the police, then it was some
Ambulance?
no.
Fireman?
No, it was some
Report.
reporter.
Okay.
It was some reporter.
Okay.
And them said, ask the man when doing out there now. Because no train not running. When you go there, no train not running.
Okay.
So I said, well, and him tell him, say, is this lady trying to reach to work at Georgia Avenue. And him go there trying to find any. And he said, no, not running. And him start the man interview me.
Yeah, he was on news.
96 blizzard and him interview me. And him said, you will be on channel 5.
Yeah.
I don't remember what time it was, but the night I was certainly
on TV.
On TV, I went here 91. I went to America 91 and 96.
Thinking about TV,
I was on TV.
Oh, wow.
I was on TV because when you look, all the Americans, they're not coming out.
Yeah.
They wasn't coming out,
No.
And when you reached to one spot, the cat couldn't go down to where I was going.
Yeah.
He said, I can't help you anymore, so
you have to go figure that out.
And I figured it out. And when I get there, they were so surprised to see me because they were looking for me. And I was there for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I could not come out.
Wow.
2 weeks, I could not leave the house.
Wow, so you got in and you couldn't go home.
I could not. Oh, wow. I just to stay there for 2 weeks.
Dedication, guy. Perseverance and dedication at its finest. So, yes, thank you so much for sharing that. So we're going to talk a little bit about something that I always find amusing.
Yeah.
You don't eat chicken.
Oh, no.
So tell us about the story about why you don't eat chicken.
Well, I can remember when I was small. My mother never eat chicken. My father never.
Oh, okay.
But one day, somehow or another, they kill a chicken at their house and they put it underneath a basket to hold it down and take out the head and cut off the head. And where we live in now was like, you have a little descent.
Yeah.
Down. And when I realized The chicken without the head was running me down the descent.
Yeah.
Because it get away out from underneath the cover the basket.
The head?
Turn over the basket without the head. And it was running me down. What I run that day. I run that day from that. And that chicken without head couldn't catch me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we never eat chicken.
Okay.
But that's not the reason why we never eat it.
Okay.
My mother never eat it. My father never eat it.
Okay.
I don't know.
You don't know the reason?
No. I don't know.
Well, I eat chicken, guys.
Yeah.
And she don't mind cooking the chicken for
Nobody cook
everybody
better
else.
chicken than I.
Yeah, she cook it. She just don't eat it.
I love.
And somehow it all is seasoned right. So there's that. And my grandma can cook. Even though this morning we kind of tussle with her about breadfruit, she don't know that we want to fry the breadfruit.
I just roast it, and it was hot.
It can't fry still.
Oh, we should just eat the breadfruit here with the saltfish, man.
Well, it was delicious. So, Grandma, is there any story that I haven't asked you about that you want to share with us?
A lot.
Yes.
Well, this first one, no, I can remember.
Hey.
This Chinese man, him have him wife, so the first child they're gonna have.
Yeah.
So, as the baby born the night, I'll tell you a night, the morning, the Chinese man run out and road go stand up.
Yeah.
Looking and if all right. My father now used to drink a lot.
Okay.
And when him come now and get him dinner, them have a thing in the kitchen that you sit down and made out of wood and board. So you always sit up on it now and somebody can go underneath it. So my little brother now, anytime him come now, me daddy jump, him put the food down on the ground. And my brother go underneath the seat. And every cut, me daddy cut the dumpling. My brother take it out and eat it. And he cut and he cut and he cut and my father never get peace to eat.
Oh my goodness.
My brother eat off all of it.
So did he know?
No, because in John, yeah, they say wine is a mac of strong drink, it's raging, and whosoever deceives thereby is not wise. His name was Solomon, but he wasn't the wise Solomon. You know?
Wow.
He wasn't the wise Solomon.
Wow.
Yes, he wasn't the wise Solomon. You know, and I remember one time my mother sent me for water, and when I get there, this lady, she used to have a lot of pear, avocado, and she gave me one nice one.
Yeah.
With the neck, one long neck. So if I give it to my mother, I tell her yes. And I eat out the whole of the pear neck. And the way, and left the little bottom,
Yeah.
When we reach home, I say, sis, Sadeli said, if we give you this, you see a tutu that I want to her, so I was eating it. I said, boy, you don't want the pear. Give me, let me send you go get soggy.
That's ever you.
I may eat a piece go give her. And days after that, when me tell her about it, she was so mad with me. She was mad with me when me tell her about it. I saw me eat.
Yeah.
But now, but me have one, me can't share that.
Yeah, but I
Can't share that.
So what was the students like back in them days in school?
Student were great.
That's great. They used to beat them up. Yeah. So you were the bad one.
Yeah, we used to beat them.
So you had a bad one.
We used to beat them in school. And because my hair was short and small ways, tease me. Keep your hair, pick it. So we till school over.
And you beat them up?
So one time now, we have this girl in Sally Bud. So me a beat her, and me put her head underneath here, so. And me a beat her, man, me a beat her. And Sally Bud just spin around and bite me under my arm. From that day, I never look past Sally Bud.
Yeah, so the bite connect.
Me couldn't hold up, me couldn't hold on my hand.
Oh,
Like me underneath my arm.
oh
It
God.
was hurtful.
Oh
It
God.
was hurtful, but you did deserve it.
Yes.
Only for time to beat her.
So they used to tease me too, you know. Come
Eh?
pick it head.
Yes,
Yeah,
pick it,
yeah.
pick it. Yeah, me beat it. I mean, I want them, you know, they know, you know.
They know, say I'm going to grab them.
Every evening. Let me tell you this now, that story now. When I was around 14, 15,
Mm-hmm.
I was going to market.
Yeah.
I used to, there was a man next door to
Yeah.
our house and used to plant tomato, pepper,
Yeah.
scallion thyme. I'm a little child. I didn't go to school and I didn't go to school on Fridays
Mm-hmm.
because Friday day I have to go to market.
Oh.
Them have a box them called biscuit box and used to put the biscuit in there, the crackers them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what them used to pack it in some little lamb box.
Okay.
And that those me used to get and use them and go a market and trust the people them things, and when me go and sell and come home now, me pay them. So me never get to go school Friday day. So me never get to meet any picnic Friday day. Because me no go to school Friday day time. Me go to market.
Yeah.
And me used to give me father money to buy goat to raise me. And all when me have
from long time, yeah, hustler.
from me a baby, you have to say, when me have Joy, my first child, 24 years, my father still give me money out of goat when I have at them time there.
Yeah.
Me used to hustle, man. Me used to hustle, man.
That's good.
Yes, and sometimes when me go into market, me buy fish, fry fish, bake mommy, and carry it on the truck. And when me go on the truck, I am the first person to make money.
Yeah.
And when me go in the Carnation market, I am the first person because everybody is there waiting on me.
Yeah.
For the fish and the mommy that I care for down here.
Yeah. Do you think that's where most of your kids get the hustle mentality?
Yes,
from?
yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
I think so. Because, you know, all of them,
Yeah.
all of them also.
Yeah.
And all of them cook, good cook.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know, all of them is good cook.
Good.
So, yeah.
All
So
is it trying some
yes,
sort of
trying some
business?
sort of
Yeah.
something, you know. So I think it was from it was from that. The way they see that I push, you know,
Yeah,
to have
always a
something in
push.
life.
Yeah.
Always a push though.
That's good.
Yeah.
So you are 85 and you still walk around, cook, clean, keep yourself tidy. A little health issue here and there, but for the most part, I would say you're healthy. See, I know I look a battle rider from time to time and
Yeah.
go on like she had 21
dance too.
and dance too. So give us younger people some tips on how we can take care of ourselves and maintain good health.
Well, let me tell you now. A lot of people, a lot of drinking,
Yeah.
the smoking,
Mm.
and all those things, you know, and partying,
Yeah.
then partying,
Yeah.
drugs.
Mm-hmm.
That is a no-no.
Yeah.
That is a no-no. You're not gonna enjoy your life.
Yeah.
You're not gonna live half your days with those things.
Mm.
You understand me? You just have to try to live a clean life.
Yeah.
Just have to try to live a clean life, you know. And a lot of them too, them don't want to cook.
Yeah.
Them just want to get
Fast food.
the fast food, which not helping them. You know, it is not helping them. So, you know, you just have to try it and just live a clean life. Eat the best way you can. Drink, but me not talk the alcohol.
Yeah.
Yes. So you can't taste the alcohol. Because when the first time when we really mean to taste me little, you know, but it is not that.
Don't get up every day.
Yeah, don't get up every day.
Drink.
And again, I'm saying again, I don't know. I don't like how them carry themselves.
Yeah.
Because if you look at sometimes all big men in there today too. With them pants down all the way down. It looks so untidy.
Yes.
You know, it looks so untidy and disrespectful.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't understand why they do it. It's something that I just For me, I mean, I hear the story why, where it come from. It's from back in the jail time when the men them not have no belt and stuff and it dropped down. But I don't understand why they bring it out into the real world and make it a style. Like it don't look good. So I'm with grandma with this one. Like the pants way down don't look good.
Them have to walk and walk.
Yeah, why don't them do like
Why don't you just hold it like a wake up? That's not nice. That's not nice, my girl.
And don't call me old because we don't like it. It's just it don't look good.
It
guys.
don't look good. It don't look good. And it don't feel good and it don't taste good.
Yes.
You know.
So eat right, cut out the whole heap of fast food.
Yes.
Because and she's talking from experience as well as our great grand who lived for what, 103?
I think it was 104.
And 104. Right? So they never eat chicken. So that's maybe something that we need to consider too.
Yeah.
Wonder what is in the chicken. And the whole heap of drinking and the alcohol is also not healthy. So take a little bit of that. And the drugs.
Yes.
So all who taking all these different type of drugs, it kind of make you look older quicker, and you don't want that. All right. So that's good. Self-care tips from my grandma. And also just to understand that back in the days, there may not have been a lot of what we have now. There's so many games, so many so many tablets and this and electronics, and the kids are now focused primarily on these screens when back in the days you guys used to be outside running up and down.
Yes, playing marble
and then
playing skip and all those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to do that.
So what we see, and we always say this to people, growing up in the inner city, so I can definitely resonate with grandma a little bit. Growing up in the inner city, that was life. Life was getting up, going to buy your quarter bread, your big gila aisle, and you eat and you drink and you play in the yard, you play in the lane.
Yes.
It was fun time.
It was fun.
And we never know any different. So now with King, I say, you know what, King need to understand or see something different because if so used to his norm, which is the iPad and staying in the house and watching TV. But then we never have all of those things. And life was still good.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was great. All toys now. You go to some people's house. When you look at toys,
Everywhere.
toys.
I'm like my house.
Oh God, we didn't know anything about the toys. We just have to get marble and
That's good.
and get let me tell you, we always get the green banana bark.
Okay.
I take it make shoes.
Oh.
Take it make shoes. I put out, we never know. I went to school barefoot, you know, I never put on shoes, you know.
Wow.
Our church. My mother used to make us wash our feet clean with stone, rock stone. I put on like a Vaseline on your foot. All ribbon in your ear, our flowers. And no shoes on, Van at church with your foot. I am telling you what happened to me.
Guys, I don't think I would survive in those times knowing what I know now. But if I didn't know what I know now, I'm sure it would have been okay.
You see ironing clothes. You have somebody ironing, I don't know what kind of iron was to us. And you make up fire. Or
Tip on it.
and put it on it. Or if you have a coal stove, you put the coal in there and put it on. Start your clothes. And then iron them out with that. We didn't know about an electric iron.
Oh,
First time I went to a job. And when I get there, in 2 weeks, I break 4 lampshade because I never used to clean lampshade. I didn't know anything about my lampshade.
Yeah.
You know, it's backlight.
Yeah.
Or
oh yeah, you used to stock the thing in the personal in
the bottle
and put
paper in there or cloth. And that was what we used to.
Yeah.
Here.
Well, we're moving with the time, guys. Now there's artificial intelligence and we don't know what's real and what's fake anymore.
Yeah.
But this has been an amazing conversation. I learned a lot that I didn't know about my grandma, and I hope that you can appreciate the time that you're living in because things and times are changing and it's changing rapidly. And so try to bring your kids back in time a little bit and ensure that they are not just focused on the tablet. They're going outside, they're getting fresh air, they're eating right because we do need to eat right as well.
Yes.
And I appreciate this, Grandma.
Yeah, thank you. You most
Thank you so much for being the blueprint.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And guys, if you enjoyed this conversation and you want more like this, I do have another aunt that is 94. 94 that I'm looking to have a conversation with. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, like, and comment and share it with a friend. Share it with another grandma so that she can actually appreciate and resonate with some of the things that my grandma has shared that she has enjoyed during her time. So thank you so much. And remember, if you have not yet bought a copy of my book, Sis You're Her, it is here. It was released or will be released depending on when you watch this on December 12th. You have the paperback and you also have the hardback. So whichever version you prefer, if you like the paperback that you can carry around wherever you go and read, or if you want the hardback that you can put on your bookshelf and it's much sturdier, you can get that version. Or if you're a Kindle reader, you can also get the Kindle version for your iPad, your Kindle tablet, or your phone. Again, guys, all the links to all of everything that I've mentioned, my Sis You Are Her Facebook group, my Sis You Are Her Instagram group, as well as my book links will be in the description below and also in the comment section. So make sure you tune in. Thank you so much. And until next time, bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Sorry,
I hope you enjoyed that conversation as much as I did. Jamaica was amazing. I had a great time. But a highlight for me was definitely the conversation with my grandma. So, until next time, go ahead, like, subscribe, comment, let me know how you feel, share it with your grandma so that she can reflect on her time as well. And as a bonus for you, tune into the videos that are coming next of my grandma in her element. I promise you, you will be cracking up. So until next time, take care. Bye. Check out the detail. Shoes, red, coming up on the dress. My grandma hotter than yours. Let me see the bag, grandma. Show the bag. Hey. Yeah. All right. Coming up. Woo, what is this now? A corsage, is that what they call it? Nice and pink and red. Lord. All right, let me see what I go up on the wrist. Let me see the wrist. Show me the wrist right here. Move the it's there. Oh, timeless. Woo. All right, coming up to the necklace. Nice and green, red. Then look on the lip. Hey! Look on the turn, spin your roll now. Turn around. Hey. Let me get hey. Grandma church, I go.
I make you make sense.
Looking good.
Happy birthday, big friend. I'm going here, pandem. One more year, pandem.
One more year, pandem.
One more year, pandem.
One more year, pandem. One more year. Tell them how old them is.
58.
Uncounted.
No, I'm not going.
My grandma didn't know I was coming to visit her.
Jesus have mercy for me, my God. And you see that one, yeah? You see that one, yeah? You see that one, yeah? You see who them there? You don't know. After you yard, oh, you can ask me who. Merry Christmas, pretty girl. Merry Christmas.
can't hear a who. Then you see you, I go done with him now.
Thank you for watching another episode of The Blueprint. Please subscribe to my channel, like, comment, and share this video. Until next week, take care. Bye.